Well, I think the very important thing that's taking place here is that it is the first infrastructure investment forum of its kind for Africa. And it is an implementation conference. In other words, we're actually signing deals, we're signing infrastructure deals. So it's not just, it's not a conversation, it's an actual implementation event where very big infrastructure investments are being signed up. So it's a game changer for Africa.
Sir, we know that you've been doing so much to address the enabling environment. So, sir, what's the way forward now? Is there any other thing that you need to add or to subtract from?
Well, I think we're on the right track. I think we're on the right track. We're investing in infrastructure in Nigeria. We've doubled power generation. We're investing in rail. We're investing in power. We're spending more money than ever before in the history of the country in capital, 2.7 trillion in 2 budget cycles. So we're on the right track. What it is, of course, is that you are not going to see a railway in 6 months. So we're looking at the first phase of our Lagos-Kano railway before the end of the year. The first phase of that going all the way up to Ibadan from the Lagos ports. So we're able to take goods from the ports to the hinterland without, damaging our roads and all of that. So there is a great deal of activity. But we need to be sure-footed, we need to be confident, and we're extremely confident. We're looking forward to a great future for our country. The BOI, the Bank of Industry, on account of a lot of the work that is being done, has put forward a 10 billion naira tech fund. We've also constituted what is called the Technology and Creativity Advisory Council, where we have a lot of the young men and women in ICT and in entertainment and creativity, in a council which I have the privilege of chairing. So that council at the moment is working on policy because we need to set policy. There's so much creativity, so much innovation. But if we don't have the right policies in place, we're going to have a situation where there will be conflicts with existing policy or conflicts with existing regulation. So there is money, we're putting together money. We're also talking to the African, to the AFDB about an innovation fund. They have invested in an innovation fund in Rwanda and Ivory Coast. And we are also asking for that kind of investment in an innovation fund. We're asking for a $500 million innovation fund. We're hoping that if they give us some of that, we'll leverage that for a bigger fund. But it's a tech innovation fund. And we're looking forward to that coming together as well. Our partnership with the AFDB, of course, as you know, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina is a Nigerian. And also, someone who is extremely interested in what we're doing. So we're working together, that's why we're here. Signing deals here, which is a marked difference between this conference and any that's ever been held anywhere else in the world, as a matter of fact. So it's actually a platform for signing deals. And there already we saw a 62 billion deal, the deal between the Thalo Melo deal and all that. And these are transactions, real transactions that are going on. So there's a lot of excitement in the air, mainly because we're not just talking here. And I don't think you'd have found the turnout that you have here, especially in terms of the business community, the DFIs, the private banks, and of course government, if this were not a serious implementation conference. This is not talking.
But the question is sometimes the AU took a decision on the free trade agreement.
Yes.
South Africa and Nigeria, the biggest economies, were kind of dragging
your feet. I think it's a question of ensuring that all the right consultations are done. So it isn't a feet-dragging thing. For example, we need to make sure that we consult fully with our business communities, fully with all the private sector interests, fully with all the agency interests. One of the critical issues that we're faced with is a situation where we want to avoid any abuse of origin rules, so that you don't have third parties to these investment, third parties to these trade agreements who are taking advantage by transshipment and dumping. So we've got to avoid all of that. And I think that what's going on is a very robust process of consultation In Nigeria, for example, we've been consulting very, very widely. We spent the last 6-7 months or so in very focused conversations with our manufacturers associations, with our trade organizations, with individuals, businesses, and all of that. Everyone has to see this from the same lens. Otherwise, we won't be able to do it.